All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Getting on the grind and improving your mind. So, of course, we're talking about latest controversy. We're just going to put our 2 cents in because I think it'd be helpful. And the purpose of this channel is partly to really be open minded, get you to think outside the box, and also just get different perspectives. And anybody who wants to come on, put the link in the chat. You could also send in something in the chat. We'll respond. So, of course, discussion is always open. Of course, what's going on is basically Jimmy Kimmel is getting canceled because he said some comments on his latest show, so now ABC is pulling him off, and I think that's controlled by Disney. So it all trickles down. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm going to cancel my Disney subscription." And I was like, "You actually were giving Disney money to begin with," which is pretty pathetic in my opinion. But yeah, so Jimmy Kimmel's now suspended or canceled or however you want to call it, and people are just a lot of people are very happy. They're cheering on the excitement because now it's a win for the right, pretty much, because the left has always been trying to cancel right wing stuff, like when Roseanne Barr lost her job, many other examples I'm sure we could think of. Now it's like a win. The right is using it for as like a win. But really, I mean, all of this is tragic, no matter what you call it. A man was assassinated publicly at a college campus, and now everyone's getting their 2 cents in, and people getting fired from their jobs. It's all chaos, mayhem. It's still going on to this day. Politics, of course, heavy politics right now. Everybody's fighting all over the world. Comment sections in every video, everywhere on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. It's all being flooded with hate and a lot of arguments. A lot of basically the world's on fire right now. And this is just adding to the controversy. So Jimmy Kimmel was fired, and a lot of people are, I would say like 70% are just like, yeah, fuck that guy. And then 30% are like, or maybe 40% are just like, this is wrong. We shouldn't be, this is a bad example for our democracy, even though we're in a republic, pretty sure. This is a bad example of like not what not to do, because we should be not canceling people and letting people do their free speech. But then again, Jimmy Kimmel he basically just spread disinformation. But then again, he's not a news source either. He's a comedy,
he's like a late night comic, right?
Comic. So I mean, I guess it's still bad to spread disinformation, but should he have gotten pulled from the air? I think it would be more. I mean, if we were in Sparta, he would have just got kicked in the head or something. I don't know if he would have gotten fired,
exiled.
Yeah, maybe he should have just been punched in the face or something, but not. I don't know if he should have been fired. I'm still on the fence about it. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, there's because we also have to think about the whole thing with free speech, right? We were just having the conversation. I don't know if we were doing it the last time we were on live or at some point after that, where these people are getting fired from their jobs for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And I mean, like, if you're going to be a complete piece of crap, like, you probably should get fired from your job. But at the same time, it is their free speech to say these things. However, we also brought up the argument that if you are, if you have a job and you are a face of some sort of company and you do these things online, you're just making that company look bad, and so they will get rid of you. That's just how that works. And so could this possibly be the same thing with ABC? Could ABC have seen Jimmy Kimmel do this and be like, okay, let's just not get involved into that, and if Jimmy's going to want to keep bringing this up, we're going to have to pull him. We just can't let this like slide. Could this be a similar situation as that? I don't know, but because I can pull up the exact thing that he had talked about that had got him pulled from ABC, and we can take a look ourselves. And I could probably just do that, and I think it's only a minute long, so we can take a look at it real quick, and we can decide for ourselves if we believe that this was just him just being a comic and just poking fun at like the situation lightheartedly, or was it just a bad move? So let's just take a look at it real quick.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. Okay. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Cancelable? I don't know. I mean, he's said a lot worse things, but it is technically disinformation because I'm pretty sure the shooter, the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk is a leftist, and he was basically radicalized by influences, most likely the internet, and he's down bad mentally. But we'll know what happens in the future with that trial. Who knows? But yeah, it's kind of a tricky situation. I'm not really 100% like, yeah, we gotta damn him to hell kind of thing. I'm not really that guy. So a lot of people who are just frustrated that are on the right are kind of celebrating this and just like, yeah, this also, just to play devil's advocate, this sets a dangerous precedent for just canceling people for things they say. I mean,
Yeah.
Once again, we're still in cancel culture. Now it's not about being left or right. It's about just canceling culture. Now it's not like Jimmy's going to go to jail or anything for what he said, losing his job. Okay, fine. And you could make the argument, yeah, well, Jimmy Kimmel could just do a YouTube podcast and make money off ad revenue. He's still going to be rich. He's still going to make plenty of money. He has plenty of supporters. Fine. But the average guy who will get canceled from his job will not be able to do that. So really, it's about the theme of being canceled more. Like Jimmy Kimmel, I mean, he's gonna be fine financially. Yeah. I don't think anyone's really worried about him. But really, it's the situation itself that causes of great concern, and what this means for the future, I guess. And of course, people are still celebrating. And then now the left is kind of like, because the left is in kind of a weaker position right now in the state of America because of everything going on against them, and they're making themselves look bad, like really bad this time. So the right's kind of winning the culture influence right now. And so the left is basically saying, oh, come on, you're trying to cancel us now? Like, even though they've been trying to do it forever. So now the right's like, haha, your turn. Like, yeah, pretty much. But really, once again, we're kind of central, kind of in the middle. Like, once again, no one's winning.
We're literally watching this stuff from the outside because we don't physically or even mentally participate in like the left versus right movement. We
being on Republic, yeah.
We kind of just watch it, pick it, like cherry pick like things that they talk about from both sides and be like, okay, this makes sense, and or this doesn't make sense, and stuff like that. And we just watch people like yell at each other, like from on TV screens or computer screens, like, and just find it hilarious because they just blindly follow a specific way when we should all just be like taking each side and trying to find the truth in it all, because one side isn't right. One side can't just be 100% right all the time. And so and I feel like the problem really is that we have let ourselves be so divided based on our political parties, because that there is nothing else really to fight for or to fight towards. Like, there's nothing really there other than fighting within ourselves, and that could lead us down I can go down a whole rabbit hole, but that's just not this live and this podcast for. We can do that on another one if you guys would like to. I would definitely be down to go down that rabbit hole.
By the way, if anyone wants to come into the stream and give their viewpoint, you're like to put the link in the chat for people to come in on, and also I guess after you do that, put the link also on your Facebook, I guess, and say if anyone wants to debate this topic, they're more than free to more than come in. I saw some people arguing on Facebook, and I was like, let's so if you want to put this on the Facebook, say if anyone wants to debate this topic, we're doing a live stream right now, come on in. And because I'm open to anyone really giving their opinion on this. And if anyone wants to say that like they have a opinion that's different than mine or Mike's, and then they want to come in and put us on blast, or they want to agree with us, or they want to come at us, or whatever really you want, we're always willing to have an open discussion on this kind of topic, because it can get pretty crazy. But I am pretty confident that we don't really get too emotional about these kind of topics, because we only have so much power as just regular average U.S. citizens. I mean, we can talk about it on a podcast that we're doing right now, and we can speak our voice and our opinion, and we can kind of try to see both sides of where they're coming from. But we're not going to go to the Disney studio right now physically and knock on their door and be like, yo, you're a piece of shit. Why did you do that? Or we're not going to be like, oh my God, yes. And just give them like a love letter. Like, thank you so much for canceling that piece of shit, pretty much, and give them some flowers or a cigar. Like, we're not going to do that. But what we can do is at least create an open discourse for someone to agree or disagree, which is really the First Amendment. That's really our given rights that we have as an American citizen. So I think it's something to be, at least, take advantage. If you have these rights as an American citizen, you should probably take advantage. I mean, it is well within your right to speak your mind. It should be. Now, that doesn't mean go on social media and tell people how excited you are that someone just got shot in the neck on a public thing, right? That's not the way to go. You should be, you know what I mean?
This whole thing is just so crazy to me because people, they want one thing, right? And they talk about like how they want things to be a certain way, and then once something happens, they'll completely just 180 themselves because it doesn't actually follow what they believe, right? If something where they're like, oh, we shouldn't stop we should stop drilling in Alaska, and then when people start drilling somewhere else, they're just like, oh yeah, no, that's fine because it's not here or something. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, nothing. People will say things that go one way because it follows one ideology that they believe, but once it's happening somewhere else or something that they don't believe affects them, then they just don't care. But they should care, right? They don't like. I'm using that example specifically because I know that it was a topic, at least I think in the 2016-2020 election cycle. And granted, that's like a long time ago by now in dealing with politics, but like people were like worried about or like not wanting us to do that because of like the environmental horrors that can happen based on doing that especially to our country, even though it would give us oil and make like gas cheaper. But then they don't care that like Saudi Arabia and like all the other Middle Eastern countries that have oil, they're just doing it, and they just don't care about that though. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get you want to care about your country, which is good. Like, we should. But if you're only going to care about just specifically that for that purpose, like, you should be caring about the entire thing. I don't know. It's just me. But if anybody that's watching this right now, that's watching it live specifically, want to come in and either put it in the comments or want to join us, definitely do so. But the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel, to me, I don't think it was fully necessary to cancel him. He's gonna be fine. Like, he'll be fine if he if they actually fired him, or they just pulled his show. Because they can always just put his show back.
He can create something of his own.
This happened to Tucker Carlson, like however long ago
he's been canceled. He's been fired.
Yeah, he was fired from Fox News like however many years ago, but he's got like a show on Twitter or something that like so many people watch. Like,
Twitter, he's on there's Rumble,
but he's still there. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
it's on Rumble.
Fresh and Fit were canceled, but they're still around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the First Amendment protects you from basically being in prison, but it doesn't protect you from losing your job. But you can always find something new, because that's really what life is all about, is trying new things, going on new journeys. And even if you do lose your job, not anything politically related, but if you lose your job, you can always bounce back and start something new. A lot of people's identity actually revolves around their place of work, their occupation, and then when they lose that place of occupation, they go absolutely nuts, and they basically crush themselves. They probably start a drinking problem. They get super depressed, and because their life was their job, their life wasn't their family or their friends or their hobby or just who they were and who their character was. Their identity was solely based on their career. And if something unfortunately happens to your career, which many of your careers are disposable, unfortunately, you can be replaced, especially by AI, but that's another conversation I don't want to get into today.
No.
And if you do lose your job, then you don't realize that you actually have the power to, especially in America, the land of opportunity, show it should be, you actually have the opportunity to find something new. That's what Tucker Carlson did. He took his fame that he already had, same thing that Jimmy Kimmel has. They have a fame and they have a certain fan base. They could do something new. Doesn't mean their lives are not over. Anyone who's like, oh my God, Jimmy Kimmel, I can't believe this happened. Relax. He's going to be fine. He's going to find something new. Give it time. Or maybe they'll reinstate the show. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Like it with things that in that nature with what we just showed with his video, with that video, like to me, it was just a comic being a comic and people just taking it, too far because because if it's politically charged, things are just gonna go off the rails. People are gonna, try to want to put his head on a stick and stuff. Like it's just ridiculous. But like if a comic's being a comic, like I don't like Jimmy Kimmel like as a comic. He's not that great. Like to me, I like the classic guys, but that's just me. But like comics, like we gotta be careful when it comes to like comics and stuff because like their art is laughter, right? Is their art is to make people laugh, and so they will use like things that are like real fucked up and stuff like that to get people laugh. And some people will get offended by it, right? People get offended by a lot of things nowadays, especially.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel like when it comes to like people who are comedians or at least trying to be a comedian, like we gotta just keep an eye on like how we're going about as like people that are watching these comics. We have to think about like how we're gonna react to it because we don't want to be overzealous because once we go down that rabbit hole of like, oh, we're firing all these comedians and like comedy is dead at that point. Comedy, like we just went down a slippery slope to just cancel all of comedy because that Jimmy Kimmel got fired over saying stuff about that. So you know what I mean? Like we have to just watch out where we're going because we don't want to go somewhere that we can't come back from. Because that will be a tragedy if we lose comedy because of stuff like
then
this.
we're screwed.
Yeah, because
then China has taken over.
Yeah, because if Matt Rife or whoever Joe Rogan, whoever is a comic nowadays, like if any of those guys like get canceled because if they say one thing, like all of them are gonna get freaking canceled and then comedy's over. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
Right. We're going to assume since no one's coming on to debate this topic, I guess we must be in the right. We got to be right. So
yeah,
kudos to us for being right. Guys, let us know what you guys think about this topic in the comment section and make sure you give the video a like. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Support the channel. Also check out allgainstore.com. Check out our merch. We got a lot of cool stuff. I think you guys would be very interested, especially for the season coming up, guys. allgainstore.com. Link in the description below. We're going to see you guys in the next video.